Welcome to the Black Script Storytellers. My name is Kevin Marable, and today our guest is an actor, singer, and producer who's been making major waves in television and film. He first captured audiences with his powerful performance as Reg Taylor on Showtime's The Chi, and later joined the Power universe as Blaxton in Power Book 4, Force. He's also starred in a wide range of other hit series such as Chicago Med, Chicago PD, Chicago Justice, and Legacy. He starred in films like White People Money, Wayward, and Everything is Both, and continues to expand his artistry both on screen and behind the camera. Beyond acting, he's also carving a lane in music, showcasing a rich and soulful voice. We have with us today none other than Barton Fitzpatrick.
Hello, the Black Script. Thank you for having me. How
Yeah,
y'all doing?
good, man. Good.
That was beautiful, man. Thank you. Thank you. I like that. That
No,
was
thank
amazing.
you. It's great to have you on. We're super gracious to be honored to have you on and you speak a little bit about your journey and your career. Um, but I like to start off every interview with a very simple question. Some might
Absolutely.
find it a little difficult to answer, though. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. The question is, who is Barton Fitzpatrick?
Who is Barton Fitzpatrick? Barton Fitzpatrick is the youngest child of Darnell and Terry Fitzpatrick.
Mhm.
He is someone who has wanted to be in entertainment for quite a while. My mother was an incredible singer. My father was a movie enthusiast, and I've just always just wanted to just always spread my wings. I looked in the mirror long before the world did, and I saw a star. And I always want people to always try to do that if they can. You know what I mean? So that's who Barsan is. He's a husband. He's a father. He's a musician.
Yeah.
He's a talent. He's a he's an
Yeah.
upcoming R&B sensation amongst many many other things, and he's just a joy to be in the world.
That's it, man. That's it. You're doing it already. You're doing it already. So,
Thank you.
um, yeah, it's definitely great to hear people's perspective of who they see themselves are as a person, as an individual, outside of who they are as the talent. So it's always great to hear, especially when I'm talking to other Black dads. That representation is
Absolutely.
amazing. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh yeah.
yeah. Now, did you grow up in Chicago? Are you originally from Chicago?
Oh yeah, born and raised, born on the west side of Chicago, and then eventually moved to the south side of Chicago around like 13 years old. So I
Okay.
got the best of both worlds of Chicago. So
Okay.
definitely.
Now, most of your work reflects that area, that region where you come from. How has your upbringing shaped the kind of stories that you like to tell?
Hmm. I actually had a very kind of different upbringing. I grew up in a very very devout holiness church.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, my upbringing was rather different actually. That's why it's actually rather fascinating for me to portray characters like Reg.
Really?
One, because I've never ever been that character myself, but two, because I'm such a silly person and I've always just been the character of my family. But yeah, I lost my father at the age of 9, and that's when we were able to actually leave that church and finally quote unquote experience a normal life. But my mother always kept us close knit, and she never was going to ever allow me and my brother to be in the streets and my
Right.
sister and stuff like that. So, but at the same time, I've always just been very observant to body language and human nature, and of course my environment. So portraying certain characters, like, I mean, what I'm mostly famous for, like Reginald Taylor.
Hmm.
I mean, went to high school and grammar school. Everybody got a cousin or two, uncle, and
Yeah.
some family members. Not as vicious as Reg,
Right. Right.
but at the same time, the swag, the vernacular, the way I articulate myself, the cadence and the tone of my voice, just body language, everything is just so Chicago. So
Yeah.
that's what makes I believe that's what makes him so unique. Aside from my voice, and the incredible writing, you know, it's
Hmm.
just everything. I just put everything that I've gotten from Chicago into that character just to make him so authentic. So that's what
Gotcha.
sets him apart.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, if we could rewind a little bit, go back to the very beginning of The Shy. or even before the Shy even aired, when you were
Absolutely.
auditioning as Reg Taylor, um, was that the character that you originally auditioned for? And then second, once you did audition and you were given the role, how was that experience?
Oh, it was amazing. The shy experience is crazy. Getting on the job, getting the job is actually very it's funny. I didn't have any representation at the time.
Oh wow.
So it was actually called Chirac. A lot of people don't know this, but it came in 2015 originally.
Yeah.
Like Jason Weaver, who plays Shy, he actually was the original Ronnie. I think Shaman and Hannah Hall, who plays Tiffany,
Right.
they were the only original cast members to be brought back from 2015. So they
Mm,
had actually came and shot the pilot, and Showtime was like, "It's something there, but I think we should go ahead and recast." The character Reg wasn't in that in that pilot at the time, and
mm.
I had actually auditioned for Brandon and Emmett originally.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. So, like I said, and that was when I was like early on, just got an agent, and I remember my agent at the time was like, "Man, you having a series regular audition? What's a series regular audition?" And she's just like, "Man, it's huge. So hire an acting coach. You know what I'm saying? Put all into it." And of course, I'm like, "Man, ain't nobody got no money for no acting coach, and I don't need no acting coach." You know what I'm saying? But I went in and I auditioned for Brandon, and then
Uh,
they called me back for Emmett, and I killed it. And like they tell you, always go into an audition and book the room. Don't worry
exactly.
about booking the job, book the room. That sounds cliche as to a young actor. It's like, no, I want to book every job. But that's exactly what happened. I made
Mm,
an everlasting impression with the casting directors, Crystal
mm,
Cards and Marissa Ross. So, of course, years later, I find out, hold on. Now you got people like Jason Mitchell, who had just did Easy E. He's
right.
attached to the Shy now. You
Yeah.
got Jacob Lattimore, who I've been watching since I was 11 years old on the Maury show. He's
Yeah.
attached to it. You got Alex Hibbert, who had just did Moonlight. He's attached to it. So right away, I was like, okay, because I remember I auditioned for the first pilot. So I'm like, they did the right thing this time around. That show was going to be something.
Yeah.
So I
Epic
remember
cast.
that. But I'm like, but I ain't got no agent. So how can I do it? And I
Right.
remember I'm seeing articles. The Shy cast is arriving in Chicago to film, and I'm just like, man, what's going on? Like, I need a job, like, but didn't have an agent. So
Mm.
finally, just to cut the short, this, not to stretch it out too
You good?
long,
Yeah, you good.
but yeah, yeah, you want to know? Yeah, I want to give out a full rundown. My mother went to church with a woman named Patrice Bolden, and Patrice, she started up her own agency, you
Mm.
know. And finally, she actually got signed on to an actual agency called DeSanti Talent. So my
Mm.
mother tells me, hey, I finally have a speaking role audition. So I'm like, you know what? Let me go ahead and get this girl, this lady, Patrice, a call. And right away, she signed me on to DeSanti,
Wow.
So I'm like, okay, I never heard of these guys, but whatever. I need somebody. My very first audition, of course, is The Shot. So
Wow.
I'm like, who's the casting director? And they was like Crystal Cards and Marissa. And I'm like, I got it. One, I'd already auditioned for them back in 2015. And second, in between time, I booked Chicago Med and I'd also booked Chicago Justice with those ladies. So I'm
Mm.
like, man, I know I didn't book the room with these people, but so I remember getting the breakdown out of all the characters on the show. Reg was all the way at the bottom with just 10 lines. So Reg was only originally supposed to be in the pilot episode with 10 lines. Of
Wow.
course, I book it and then I put the work down,
Yeah.
showed up to set, and the producers loved me and they fell in love. And it was just this one moment with just this look that I did it just popped and it was just like, nah, we should go with this guy. And then from then on, I ended up doing 9 episodes the first season, and then got offered a series regular going into season 2, which is crazy. But
Yeah,
that's the full
absolutely.
backstory behind that.
Now, that happens a lot where, you go in and a character will start off with only a few lines and they're only supposed to be on, a set amount of episodes and then that's it. But the fact that you were able to portray such a strong character and give such a strong performance, it led to the fact of audiences wanting to see more, and that brought you on to becoming a series regular, within the series. And you were a very strong and pivotal character that helped push the storyline along, even though you were considered the bad guy.
Hmm. Oh
um
yeah.
yeah. um how was that? talk a little bit about how that was like. How's that received in public? When people see you and they get to meet you, um, they obviously they see you as Reginald Taylor, but you know they don't really get a chance to get to know Barton Fitzpatrick. So how does that,
Absolutely.
how does it feel when you portray the bad guy and you know that that's not who you are as an individual, but the fans love you, but at the same time, they have a disdain for you because you're the bad guy on the show.
Um, so before Reg came back, I'll say it was different. So
Yeah.
season 1 and 2, when I was on the show,
Hmm.
it was all love, and it still is all love, but it's a difference because season 7 he came back really, really
With a
on demon
vengeance.
time.
Yes.
Yeah, so it was like it's fascinating, but no, they always have loved me. Let me just say that. Let me just start to say that they've
Yeah.
always embraced the character, especially here in Chicago, but everywhere in the world. Like
Hmm.
we all love to see Denzel as Lonzo in Training Day. You know what I'm saying? Like you
Yeah.
have an incredible body of work, and we love to see these other characters. You know what I'm saying? Malcolm X and Devil in a Blue Dress. And we can go on and on, but still, it's just something that hits different about that character. Same thing with my cousin Lorenz Tate.
Hmm.
You have an incredible body of work, but Old Dog from Menace to Society, it's just
Yeah.
something about those gangster roles that just hit because the villain is always needed, but
Yeah.
when you just put so much authenticity into that character and you
Hmm.
really just remind us of somebody that we want to not know we feel we do, or you know what I'm saying, that we fear, and you do such a great job, and then when they see you in person and you smile that one time, it's just like, oh yeah, he's good, yeah, okay, you know what I mean. But nah, I like it. I enjoy every bit of it. A lot of actors go years for a job like this, an opportunity to portray to be the most hated character in the city, and
Right.
and
But
like
it sets you up. I didn't mean to cut you off. It sets you
first
up.
time.
It sets you up to you are one of the most recognizable faces from the show. Seriously.
Absolutely.
Moving forward season by season, the fan base has only grown larger. More people are watching it. It's one of the longest lasting shows. One of the longest lasting series, and uh, you know, I think people, even though you're a bad guy, people also root for you and want to know what's going to happen to Reg.
Absolutely.
So every season that goes on and you remain, we're like, oh come on, man, what's happening?
Absolutely.
But yeah,
Nah, I really love it. The writing is really, you know, it's really the writing and the performance is just really that dynamic that sometimes
yeah,
um it's incredible how the fans really like they'll overlook certain things. Like you
right,
watched season 7, of course, so it was just like when the character
yeah,
Reg ended up when he did what he did to Emmett, it's like everybody like, why would he do that to Emmett? Why would he do that to Emmett? But it's like if you really
you have
dissect
your own
if you dissect the situation and you really analyze Reg's character season 7, he never left his apartment. Everything was
right,
kind of brought to his doorstep. He hasn't
right,
really terrorized anybody. He didn't know that Damien was Emmett's brother. I
yeah,
mean, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have cared, but at the same time, think
right.
about it if we reversed it.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And Reg ended up going to Emmett and beating him half to death, and then Emmett ended up firing his pistol.
Right,
People would be like, they would literally be like, "See, look, he always want to be tough, and then
yeah.
look what happened to him." You know what I'm saying? But it's just like you just make us hate you so much because your presence is just so dynamic, and it's just so like, oh my God, I'm so intimidated by this character that a lot of things can just become overlooked in actuality because you know it, he didn't really do too much badness if you think about it. I mean,
Um,
he's not the best brother still, like
I
you
was
know what I'm
gonna
saying?
say he
Yeah,
terrorized his brother. He terrorized Jake. He gave Jake
absolutely.
a hard time. He gave a Jake a run for his money. And why you do that to Jake, man? But and to your point, you did stay in the apartment, especially during the day, but you would come out from time to time at night and just kind of scope the scene out, see what's happening, see what's
Yeah. I
yeah,
mean, it's like when you saw him, he went to Nook. I'm coming back. I'm coming back for my for my shit. You
yeah,
didn't see that. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like he gave him a pass, and then he could have went and just shot him up and just said, "Hey, I killed the king. I'm back for mine.
Yeah.
Same thing. And then so like scenes that have humanized Reg, I would say would be with Jason Weaver.
Hmm.
Shout out Jason Weaver, who's also a Chicago native, with the character shot. And actually, because he saw him in the car when Alicia tried to unalive his character.
Right.
He saw him in the car. That's like so disloyal in actuality for you to be best friends with my brother and you just go ahead and push the button on that and not
Right.
at least stop it.
Mm.
So me pulling up, I'm talking about saying me, the character Red's pulling up on him.
It is you though.
You
It
know what I'm
is
saying?
you.
He
Yeah.
did, it's like he gave him a pass,
Yeah.
off of the given fact. Man, I remember you raising us. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Mhm.
so I appreciate moments like that that they've given. It's not been that much, but even like giving him a love interest like Candace, you know, moments where he says, I mean, you know that I'm not a monster, stuff like that. It's like it's important to show certain things like that. So I'm happy to be able to see him be humanized and not just as vicious every scene, but at
Mhm.
the same time. Red's got some problems, you know what I'm saying? He grew up without a father, and like the Thanksgiving episode, that was important to see all of the brothers together with the mother, you know what I mean? And yeah, because we're all like, we kind of stuck in the same place. None of us wanted to be here, but we are here and we just got to deal with it. So,
And that's one thing I do like about the show, even through all of the turmoil and all of the drama. They also, the writers also take time to showcase Black love, um, men interacting with men, and
absolutely.
showcasing vulnerability. There's a lot of issues that they tackle, and I feel like they tackle them so well, especially within our demographic and things that we go through within our culture, that make the show that much more dynamic and special. And I think that's why a lot of people gravitate towards the show, because it's real, it's authentic, it's relatable. um, and even the characters, down to a lot of the actions that the characters will take on, are also relatable. I mean, there are a few things we're like, come on now, but overall, it's a great show to watch, and it's a great family bonding moment as well. uh,
Absolutely.
through everything. So I definitely enjoy that a lot. I love how everybody's character arcs have grown and progressed over time, and they've been able to push for so many seasons and be able to tell so many different stories and tackle so many different issues. Uh,
Absolutely.
Now, you took a little bit of a hiatus from the show for a while. Obviously, you've had a family, you've had other roles and whatnot. When did you know that you were coming back to the Shy?
Um, when they were about to, I think like in the beginning of season 7.
Really? Okay, so talk
Yeah.
talk a little bit about what maybe that phone call was like, or the interaction or experience was like when once you heard that you were coming back.
I mean, I'm sure you can imagine.
Yeah,
I'm sure you can imagine. I was in Los Angeles with my family, and yeah, it was something that was needed. You know what I'm saying? Spiritually, financially, like yeah, it just end up getting a call. Chopping it up with the creator, and then yeah, she like stand by, and next thing
yeah,
you know, you know, Rez
dope,
is returning season 7. It was crazy.
dope. Um, Now, just speaking within what you just mentioned, can you speak a little bit about the impact the show has had on your life, and your career throughout the years, and even
Oh
leading
yeah.
up until now?
I mean, man, being on the Shies has been everything. To be honest, it truly, truly has, because I never would have imagined like Showtime and Paramount Plus to ever even give this city an opportunity like that to showcase us in that way. And
Mhm.
like Lena Waithe, who's a Chicago native, uh, Chicago legend,
Yeah,
just for her to be able to like even think of something like this brilliant, you know what I mean, and take it to like I said, a platform like that, and they let's do it, bring it to Chicago. And then me myself, early on in my career, I just like I said, I just got my first agent, like early 22 years old, and now I'm doing 9 episodes of cable television. Like it was just crazy. Like I did like a couple gigs, but
mhm, mhm.
like Chicago Med and Chicago Justice, like those are like wonders. You know what I'm saying? Like unless they, that would be like one in a million for them to bring that character back, of course. But to end up being in just originally the pilot episode and then end up doing 9 episodes that season,
Yeah.
that was amazing.
Yeah.
To even start having conversations with producers and them telling me you're going to be quote unquote a star, we see it, and I'm like, oh, okay. I'm very green to it, but not knowing like no. Just pay attention to what you're like the writing. I didn't understand like what I was doing and what I was really going to be a part of, and
Hmm.
overall who I would be portraying. I didn't understand that you're literally the epitome of what people think of when they think of like the negative aspects of Chicago.
Yeah.
The violence, you know what I mean? And you have an opportunity to put the city on your back and pay homage and do it with grace and to be authentic as possible, born and raised in this city.
Hmm.
And like the pilot episode, I remember like going to H&M, doing my regular shopping, and then after episode 3 comes out, now I'm in that same H&M, and now people are staring at me.
Yeah.
Whoa,
Right.
what's going on? And I'm from Chicago, so I'm, hey, what's up? What's going on? And then they'd be like, yeah, that's him for real. And I'm like, wow, like so, like it's just like right out the gate, just being embraced by Chicago, and then traveling across the globe to Mexico, everywhere I've ever landed. People, oh my God, I love your character. You're my favorite character. The Shy is the best. You know what I'm saying? Like this is my favorite show, and people have like, yeah, like send me beautiful messages and have shared tears when they've met me, and it's incredible. It just really is, and
Yeah.
I'm happy to know that I never thought about none of this. You know what I'm saying? None of this was even in the vision board. It was never on my agenda. I always wanted to be a famous actor. I never wanted to be famous. I wanted to be known for my work.
Right.
And this is what I've been able to do, and to start the season, the show, the first 2 seasons, and my character become unalived, and the fans continuously demand the return and the belief that he's
Yeah.
not dead. We want to see him back. And then it actually happened.
Hmm.
I never in a million years thought it was gonna. I never thought it was gonna happen. Like it could be. I could be one of those guys. Like, oh, I knew they was gonna bring me back. Never, never.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. Not after so long. It's just like maybe it could be a possibility, but it was so crazy to just think like, no, it's over with. And I finally was kind of getting it out of my spirit and system. You know what I mean? Because the Shy is everything. It
Hmm.
made me. You know what I'm saying? Like it gave me my my face. You know what I'm saying? Like it launched me in this business in a great way. So
Yeah.
once you're not a part of something like that, it takes integrity and courage and strength, and to have a beautiful wife that I have, and you know what I'm saying, for us to end up procreating together and create my own family. It took a lot of that to keep me sane, to be honest. You know what I mean? Like aside, even booking other jobs, like you named my other resume. Like other projects that I've been blessed to be on. The Power Universe, that's huge.
Yeah.
If you've seen any of these films, whether they land on Tubi or anywhere, these are amazing projects that I've been able to be a part of. But in my soul and in my spirit, nothing satisfied me like being able to portray Reg.
Hmm.
So it means everything to be able to return and to be able to like just bring that character to life again. It was just it's crazy.
Yeah. No, it's definitely a full circle moment. You were early on, and now you're at the tail end of the series as things wrap up within season 8 is the
Absolutely.
final season. I will go on to say that you do a phenomenal job within your acting. Just talking to you, hearing how positive you are. To your point, you're the exact opposite of who Red is.
Thank
And
you.
watching you on television will make you believe like that is you. You know what I'm saying? But you seem the complete 180 of who Reg is. So
Absolutely.
kudos to you, man. Hats off to you.
Thank
Definitely
you.
amazing acting. I can't wait to see what transpires in this final season with Reg and the rest of the cast. Um, are you able to speak on what we might be able to expect? I know you can't give details and all of that good stuff. You might
Man,
not
I have
have any
no
information.
idea.
Okay.
I have no idea. Like,
Okay.
I literally don't. And then now finding out the news, like, you
Yeah.
mean, like, we find out some things along with the fans, you know what I mean? Like,
Wow.
I mean, I think we probably, we knew that it would be ending and be the final season, maybe just like a couple days before the world. You know what I mean? So it's just like, so now, of course, just like y'all, okay, so how we gonna go out?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I know we gonna go out with a bang. So it's like, nah, we're just all excited and we're very eager to get that first script and just, you know what I'm saying? See where it's gonna go, you know?
Yeah.
It's, yeah, so
Every episode's got to be jam packed. Jam.
man, I believe it is. I truly
Yeah.
do. I truly do. And then we took this year off. Usually because we filmed season 7 last summer, so
Right.
we would have been doing 8 this summer, but they took a full year off.
Okay.
And they've been writing since February. So
Because it's got to
that's
be
you
strong.
feel me. So that's a long yeah. So,
Okay. So you guys are gonna pick back up probably the top of the year or sometime.
yeah, probably somewhere around that time. Probably
Okay.
yeah
Okay. Gotcha.
yeah
Gotcha. Okay.
yeah.
Now you were also part of Power Book 4 as Blaxton,
Yes,
and that
sir.
role was created specifically for you. Can you talk a little bit about
Oh yeah.
why that role was created specifically for you?
Absolutely. Shout out to Robert Munich, who is the creator. He was the showrunner of season 1.
Hmm.
Um, Robert Munich was a fan of mine. He was a fan of my work on The Shy.
Hmm.
But he also took a liking to the fact that I was very, very close with the actor who plays the actor Chris D. Lofton, who portrays the character
Yes.
Jannard on
Yes.
the show.
Yeah.
Me and Chris, who's also a Chicago native, I've been watching Chris since hardball days. Like he was one of the kids in hardball. Like I've been watching him since I was a child. Like he's actually one of the reasons, you know what I'm saying? But me and Chris, ever since I got to LA, we lived in the same building, just we became best friends and it's crazy. It's like I watched him manifest his job on Power. Like
Mhm.
Chris, when I say he was a diehard Power fan,
Yeah. Yeah.
like he wanted to be on Power. Don't get me wrong, I did too. You know what I'm saying? But really the original Power, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm
Right.
like, then the spinoffs came, but I'm like, man, we got to do this. You know what I'm saying? And I remember we actually went, we had a trip in to Miami Super Bowl weekend. We sat there and prayed together, like we're going to book Power. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So he and I always had this friendly competition. So the role of Jannard comes up. We both get it. We both get an opportunity for it. And
Wow.
we talking shit to each other. Better luck next time. We used to always do our little shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which is crazy. But I remember, and we both were like kind of the finalists for the job. Which was crazy. But
Mhm.
after we saw Diamond, who they cast as his brother Isaac Keys, I was like, nah, you got it. He's like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
Right.
Like.
It's a perfect matchup.
I remember he called me like, bro, I gotta have it, bro. Look at the nigga they just. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be saying that. But he's like, look at the guy. He's like, look at the guy. He's like, look at the guy who they cast as Diamond, my brother. And I'm like, oh yeah, you got it. A couple days later, he gets a call from Robert Munich.
Wow.
Boom. So he got it. So I'm like, damn, my best friend just beat me out. Wouldn't want nobody, no other actor in the world to do that. So he got that. Congrats to him, right? So
Right.
now, all right, it's other characters on the show. Boom. So they had me read for like 3, 4 different characters, literally. Like he had another, I forgot Jeremiah the singer. He was his best friend, if you think about it. I had auditioned for that character. So I'm like, man. Then Detective Seamus, who was like the dirty detective. I
Right.
auditioned for his character. It was a couple other characters. I'm just like, man, what's going on? Robert Munich, Bobby, I call him Bobby. Like, I didn't got his number at this point. We
Yeah.
calling, he's leaving me voicemail. So I'm like, man, bro, like, what's up? Like. But the whole time, what he was doing was he wanted me to showcase my work to the network, to the
Hmm.
network and studio. So it was just like, look, y'all have already seen him read for all of these different characters.
Right.
Y'all know he has the talent. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? Acting is everything is about your look. Maybe he wasn't the look that we were looking for, but y'all know he got it. But you know what? I'm tired of fucking around with you motherfuckers. I'm gonna write him a role myself,
Yeah.
period. And that's
Wow.
exactly what he did. So Blackston was the last name of his assistant in real life.
Oh
That's
wow.
where that name came from. And he like, yeah. So, and of course, my girls, Crystal Cards and Marissa Ross, who the same casting director from The Shy, they give me the call, which was so incredible as well. And she like, oh, I'm about to blow your head off. I just left out of a meeting with Lionsgate. We're offering you 4 episodes of the last season. Your character, I'm like, what do you mean? So I got no, 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 no. Robert Munich wrote you a role
Yeah.
specifically
You
for
already
you.
got it.
He
Yeah.
didn't no, like no other actor in America in the world could say I auditioned for the character Blackston, and it was crazy. So, and he was just like, man, come on now, I see you and Chris, man. Like I know, I
Yeah.
wanted to just be able to just put y'all together, and I just figured out a way to do it, and then they did it.
Mhm.
So
That's really dope. And it just lends more, more towards the fact of how hard you're working, showcasing your craft, not giving up, being determined,
absolutely,
and every audition that you show up for, you give it you give it 110%. You don't flack on it or feel like, oh, they're not going to give it to me. You know what I'm saying? Like you
absolutely not,
push and give it to.
absolutely not.
So, that's what it takes, to land these roles, and look where it got you. Um, but I know once the shy is done, and once power and all of that, I feel like you have a long and strong career ahead of you. Uh,
Thank you so much.
yeah,
Thank you.
gonna get a lot more roles, man. This ain't the end. People might still remember you as Reg for a while. You know what I'm
And we want them to, and we want them to. We're not afraid of that. But I
saying? Yeah,
mean, I know, just like you just said. I second that. I appreciate you saying that. But
yeah,
I know it'll be like, man, I want it to be like he was Reg though.
right.
He was Reg.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I want it to be like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and I know it will. I know it will.
Let me ask a question. As far as getting into the character and then getting out of a character, do you ever have a hard time getting out of a character, being that some of the characters you portray are often negative, being that you're more of a positive person?
Not at all.
Okay. It's either like light switch. Light switch.
Yeah, man. Like
Okay.
you should be on set one of these days. The crew, they just be like, oh my god, like they just be flabbergasted because it's like, you know, I'll go full fledged Reg, you know
Yeah,
what I'm
full
saying, on
fledged
my
red.
coverage when we this close and they behind the cameras looking, and
Yeah,
then right after they yell cut, I'd be like, hey y'all, how was that? Was that good? And they'd be like, hey
yeah,
man, like dude, how do you do that? But it's a gift. It truly is, because I've seen some people can struggle with it. I've seen people on, in different previous jobs and certain things where it's like, nah, we have to kind of channel this. It takes a little longer to channel this type of energy to be able to portray it in that way. But I mean, nah, I mean, nah, not me. I can go right into it. It's just it's a blessing. It
yeah.
truly is.
Now I've just scouring the web, scouring social media. Obviously, we follow you. I follow you both on Instagram and on TikTok. Um, what I did not know early on was that you sing. But then on top of that, what I did not know, outside of Jake Lattimore, that half the cast can sing. And I've seen some behind the scenes clips of you guys, I guess in between scenes or in between
Yeah, we
takes.
went viral. We went viral.
Yes. And you guys
Yeah,
are like your own natural like boy band or group, or whatever you want to call it.
absolutely,
Talk a little bit about your singing, and where you want to go with your with that talent.
absolutely. So, like I told you, this Saturday I will have an incredible experience.
Yeah.
Here in my own city, I'll be the opening act in live concert for Fantasia and Anthony Hamilton. So,
Congratulations, man.
thank you so much. That's huge. And yeah, it's gonna be a huge shocker to the crowd when they see Reg get on that stage, and I,
Right.
because if you love the acting performance, I can confidently say that the music side is equivalent. It is. It
Oh
yeah. It's serious. I'm so serious when it comes to music.
yeah.
And that's what I've been doing all of these years. I just been in the studio, just write music, building myself as an artist. And I understand timing is everything. I have records, and you'll hear some too. Like if you ever on TikTok, every night on my TikTok labs, I play my 3 unreleased records that will be on my EP.
Okay.
So if
Okay.
you ever stop by, you will be able to hear some of that. But some of these records are like over 5 years old. You know what I mean? And it's like to see the audience embrace these songs and demand every TikTok. I'm like, hey, I'm waiting to the end. I can't wait to hear my favorite. I'm
Right.
like, wow. So it's like I understand this is the time. You know what I'm saying? The time is now, and it's time to drop. And
Mhm.
then of course, like me getting this opportunity to get on stage, like everything is coming full circle. So that's what I've been doing. And my first concert, I was able to open up for Seven Streeter, and that was crazy. So I was able to just get on that stage to really know, like, yeah, okay, this is it. It is like being on set. You know what I mean? It is just like being doing theater back in the day. You know what I'm saying? But also just singing with a little bit of singing. And
Yeah.
I know it's something that's meant for me, and I know I will be. I'll be up there, just like how Reg will go down in history as one of the greatest gangsters. I'll go down in history as one of the greatest R&B artists. So I see it.
One of the greatest gangster singers.
One of the greatest gangster singers of all time, absolutely. So, which is great. You know what I'm saying? Because that's like a gimmick without having to have need one. Like you
Yeah,
have this gangster on television who can
who can sing.
sing you all the way to the altar, and it's like it's
Absolutely.
crazy. So
Yeah.
it's a blessing. But
So would you consider that being like the next phase of your career? Or are you going to take some time away from acting and focus primarily on music, or you're going to try to balance both?
I always just try to balance both. Like right now, Reese Hamilton, which is Anthony's brother,
Hmm.
he's who made this possible. His goal, of course, after this performance, is to showcase me in this way, so they can just keep me on tour to finish out the tour with him. So
Wow.
fingers crossed on that. That's the goal, and then of course we'll be able to do that, and then
Yeah,
um, lead right into season 8. Which would be amazing. So yeah, I always want to just balance both, but it would be incredible to have a hit song and go on tour. Right after that tour, head to the next project. I always want to do that. So
absolutely.
yeah,
Would you ever consider doing maybe like a musical or something along those lines that where you'd be able to showcase your singing talent um,
absolutely.
on screen? Okay.
Absolutely, definitely. Like a biopic is in my near future.
Yeah.
Definitely,
Who would you
yeah.
want
I think I should play Al Green for sure.
Al Green?
Yeah, that would be incredible.
Yeah,
Especially with my the church background and how he was able to end up transitioning into becoming a pastor and like it would be great. I want to play Al Green. I'm a you'll see me as Al Green one day.
absolutely, man.
Remember I told you that.
Now, Chicago has birthed many great storytellers. Who are some of the local artists or mentors that have inspired you on your journey?
You said local artists like.
Any local artists, whether it be singers, actors, writers, directors, producers, just anybody within Chicago that's kind of helped inspire you.
Hmm. I would say Lorenz Tate, the Tate brothers, Lamar, Lorenz, Laron. I would say, my father and their father were best friends. They grew up on the west side of
Oh,
Chicago
wow.
together. So I always grew up knowing him to be Big Cuz, of course. So I was
Mhm.
always chasing after Lorenz. I would say definitely my whole life. I always wanted to, which is crazy because I remember my father telling me. I remember, Lorenz was doing it, he was booking these jobs, he was doing this and that. But when he did O Dog,
Yes,
boom,
that was it.
and it's like, man, may my father rest in peace. If he was able to see his son be Reg, it's literally like it's another full circle moment though. Like seriously. So,
Mhm.
Lorenz got O Dog and I got Reg, and I've been chasing O Dog for my
Yeah,
whole life. And so I remember when I finally became an adult and we actually ended up crossing paths, and he told me, like, we had a conversation. He was just like, man, cuz like just understand, like, just never I'm not where I want to be, and understand that it can get like that for you. So I think like those type of conversations, always having that in the back of my mind even after my departure from the show, and then of course the between time before I came back,
mhm.
having those type of conversations was, as far as the grind don't stop, you know what I'm saying? Never be satisfied, never get caught up in anything in the limelight, none of that stuff. It's just always be about the work, you
Right.
know. He's always been in my corners. I always have guidance, and even when it was like, man, cuz, man, what's up with Power? You on Power? I'm in auditioning. Hey, cuz, stay the course. It's gonna happen. You know what I mean? So it's like I would definitely say I owe a lot to the Tate brothers.
Mhm.
They used to always come back and bring celebrities to Chicago every summer. At the Martin Luther King skating rink. So they were I like Kadeem Hardison to be on the shot with him. I'm
Yeah.
like, bro, you don't even remember. I'm a child. I'm so
Right.
fanned out. I followed you into the bathroom to act like I had to use the bathroom just so I can say like, hey, I took, you know what I'm saying? Like I was next to Kadeem Hardison, and he
Right.
like now look at life. So it's just like, yeah, man. Like the Tate brothers, they definitely have always been, a true inspiration for me out of Chicago
Yeah,
in this
that's dope.
business and outside of the business.
Yeah, that's dope. Now, throughout your career, have you had any challenging moments that you faced within the industry that maybe taught you more about yourself and being resilient?
Hmm. Um. I mean, yeah, it's like the strike was a the strike. The beautiful thing about the strike, and it's a sad, beautiful thing, but I was happy to for the world to finally see we all broke.
Yeah, right,
Like on some real shit though, like we all fucked up out here. We all need more. You
right.
know what I'm saying? Because like, yeah, like you be naive. Like you're naive when you're starting off. You think like just because somebody's on TV, they're rich. You know what I mean? And it's like it's a challenge to be famous and not be rich as well. You know what I mean? It's truly a challenge to um you're just trying to go to Target and grab something, you know what I'm saying? And you stretching out money to purchase this item, but it's three people who just asked you for a picture and
Yeah.
they're starstruck. You know what I mean? It's that is very, very tough. You have to have thick skin and always have belief in yourself. So,
Hmm.
I would say like, yeah, those are moments where it's like definitely, yeah, just being unemployed and being famous. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
yeah, those are humbling moments. it,
Yeah.
it, it reminds you of those days when you're doing you have to go back into that spirit of being on the south side of Chicago and doing those 9-week unpaid rehearsals to make $90 a weekend. You know what I mean? But also, like I'm saying, always looking in that mirror, seeing a star. So it's just like you could never get caught up in people asking you for pictures. You already knew you were famous. This is just coming with the territory. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? But you still that hungry, young, aspiring actor who don't know what tomorrow is gonna bring, but you're just happy. You know what I'm saying? You
Hmm.
never want to get to the top of the mountain because you enjoy the climb. And that's just who I've always been. So that's just what it
Yeah.
is.
I love that, man. I love that. What's next for you?
What's next? I mean, we gonna knock out season 8. That's of course the main thing that I want to do, and then of course just I'm just excited because I know season 7 was great for me in my career. It's we're still kind of getting back still from COVID,
Hmm.
and then of course the strike. So, the world of acting isn't what it was about 5, 6 years ago, but it's getting back to that point.
Right.
So, like it's a lot of actors where it's just like, man, I'm on this. Why am I not getting offers and anything? It's like ain't nobody doing nothing right now, to be honest. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But in due time, understand it's people
It's
like Robert Munich
hmm
who was going to end up telling studios and networks, nope, he not auditioning for nothing. I got the guy. You know, I saw you in this episode and I immediately wrote this film for you. You know what I'm saying? I just know it's going to be that. So I'm just excited, you know what I mean? I don't have any representation right now. I'm freelancing,
oh,
no agent, no manager, so I'm just like let me keep my commission on the shot now that I'm back. And then of course yeah, we'll figure something out, but and the creator of the show, she always tells me to just keep an open mind and stay tuned because she always is always thinking of me and she's always working. So
yeah.
it's always
Always
good
something.
to be in the good graces of people like Lena Waithe and
Right.
other producers like Common and other showrunners who've come a part of the show and
Mhm.
they've went on to do other great things as well. So I've been able to shake hands with the right people. 50 Cent, you know what I'm saying? Who's a
Right.
big fan of my work, So I think I'm gonna be good, man. But
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I said, the music we gonna hit the stage. Hopefully, go on tour with Fantasia and Anthony Hamilton, and
Hmm.
then that'll create a window of more opportunities and knock out season 8, man. And
Absolutely.
it's always a film around the corner,
Yeah.
and yeah, man. So I'm
Dope.
excited.
Dope. Well, Barton, I like to give my
Can I ask you a question?
yeah, absolutely. Please.
What do you think is next for me? What do you
Well,
see? Where do you see me going?
I
I'm
definitely
curious.
I definitely see some more roles in your future. I would love to see more, you act more outside of the Shy and Power. Of course, those are the two main shows that I am familiar with you in them. I would love to see more, more range, and you be able to showcase your range and all of that. But also
Absolutely,
on top of that, now that I know that you sing and I discovered that you sing through the process, I would love to see, how you could bring your your musicianship into acting as well and be able to
absolutely,
showcase characters. But not only that, I would also love to see how you would tackle a character that's not necessarily a bad guy or a villain.
absolutely,
So
absolutely,
so
absolutely.
those would probably be the three main things that I would look for
Absolutely.
you moving forward. But I feel like you can do that. I feel like you've shown enough vulnerability on top of uh, strong acting. I would love to see more of not as much of the villainous roles, but
Absolutely.
where you can take it elsewhere. And I know that you can knock it out the park. You just have to be given the opportunity.
Absolutely. You should
Yeah,
check out a film I did. It's called A Haitian Wedding. That was actually one of my most challenging
a Haitian wedding.
jobs. It's called A Haitian Wedding because I actually portrayed a Haitian, and we don't have any any films to reference. You know, like
Right.
if we going Jamaican, we can always go to Shadows. You know what I'm saying? It's different
Yeah.
films, so it's like I actually had to call up my professor from college, and we worked for like some extensive hours on the accent to just tackle that. You know what I'm saying? To attack that accent, and yeah, it was. I would say that that's my most challenging project. You know, actually having to be an authentic Haitian, and we actually filmed it in Haiti. So I'm like,
Oh,
wow, like
yeah.
so I'm the, you know, the nerves and the thoughts of thinking like, man, like because the whole crew was actually Haitian, and I'm just like, I want to do my best so they
Right.
don't be like, why didn't y'all just get a real Haitian? And it was
Right.
just like yeah, so. But definitely more roles like that though. So yeah, check that out
Where
when you
where
get a
can we watch
chance.
that? Where's that
That's
available?
actually it's free. It landed on Tubi. It's free. I actually
Awesome.
got like 5 films on Tubi, so you can just type in Barton Fitzpatrick and check out all of my films because
Right. Bet.
yeah. But definitely I agree with you, and I cannot wait to do those rom coms, to star in those comedic films because I am the silliest person that you would ever meet. You know what I'm saying? Like my
Yeah,
family, like I said.
we gotta see this side of you on screen.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like yeah,
Yeah.
when you get to see those the doctors and the lawyers, you know what I'm saying, the war heroes and
Mhm.
you know the superheroes, all of that. That's all coming. That's
Yeah.
all coming.
Yeah.
But
You
I
speaking
ain't gonna lie, I definitely do enjoy playing the villain though. I do.
right.
I do.
Yeah,
But nah, it's
I'm
coming.
sure there's a lot of fun that comes in that because you able to play a role in a character that you are not, and so to make that believable and for people to see you outside of who you are as an individual, I can imagine how fun that is to be able to
Absolutely.
showcase both sides,
Absolutely.
and be able to do it so well. Yeah.
Most definitely.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I like to give my guests the final word, whether that be a piece of advice that has been passed down to you, a quote that you like to live by, or some words of encouragement to the audience or the people who are watching or listening. You could say one of the three, or you could say all three.
Okay, I'll give you 2 quotes.
Okay.
Those who are aware of themselves will
Mhm.
always and forever understand the path.
Mm.
Um, Try to never reach the top of the mountain and always enjoy the climb.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love it. Well, Barton, thank you so much for giving us time.
And
And
I love the black script. I'm sorry, and I do love the black script. This is definitely top notch. One of my favorite interviews. You are amazing.
oh man,
Absolutely, got to give you your flowers too.
thank you so
And
much.
shout out Jessica. And of course TikTok, because that's how we were able to make this happen, which is incredible.
Absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
was avoiding TikTok.
Yeah, Jessica, if you can come back before we close out the
I
show.
Yeah,
almost
please.
came off of mute and on the camera when he said Reg wasn't that bad because what Reg is you talking about? Not the one I was watching.
Yeah,
That was
man.
a great interview, man. I'm sorry that it was like I know it was a lot of The Shy, but man, we are super fans of The Shy.
Mhm.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm glad that it was. No,
Yeah.
So
like yeah.
yeah.
I mean I haven't been able to like have any press and like too many opportunities to talk about season 7. You know, I only did like one interview. So like I said, thank y'all for this. This is great.
And this is why it's important to have spaces like this because
Yeah.
a lot of the talent really doesn't get the spotlight. And the more spotlight and exposure that you guys receive, the more you are able to obtain fans, more people will check out your work.
Absolutely.
Outside of the Shy, look at other shows and other films that you're in, and they'll get to know you as who you are as a person and become more of a fan of who you are as a person, and then be able to see who you are as a person in comparison to who you are on screen and be like, man, he's an amazing actor because I
Indeed.
would have never thought that he was this person over here when he's acting like this on TV, you know?
Absolutely,
Uh,
absolutely.
so it's very important to be able to showcase this, but not only that, be able to give you guys your flowers. You guys work tirelessly around the clock to be able to bring the art to us, and we thoroughly enjoy it. We talk about it, we dissect it, we break it apart. Sometimes we diss it or down it, but ultimately we love it, and we wouldn't diss it or not like certain things if we didn't love it so much. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? So
Hmm.
we truly appreciate, you know, all that you do and what you bring to the show and to the series. And to Jessica's point, I know a lot of it was about the Shy, and I know you have other projects, but I wanted to talk to you mainly about the Shy,
No, I
and
love
Man,
it.
this is what
also
we
about
need to
your
talk
music,
about.
as also about your music too, because I did not know that about you until
Absolutely.
maybe like a month or two ago.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, yeah, we do have to throw that in there. So my artist name is Barton,
Okay.
Barton. A lot of people don't know that. With the hyphen over the O. But
Mhm.
I do have music out. I started releasing music in 2019. I have I think 4 singles out right now. And like as I'm telling y'all, I go on TikTok and I've been giving teasers and snippets of my unreleased music because I'm about to drop an EP.
Yeah,
So just have to throw that in there as well. So a
That's
lot of
awesome.
people don't know that, but they will now, thanks to y'all.
definitely
Thank
going
y'all
about
so
the
much.
EP, man. What's the EP gonna be called?
I'm still I'm figuring it out. I'm figuring it out. I don't know just yet. It's untitled right now.
All right,
Might
cool.
be a self-titled.
Okay, yeah, for
Might be
sure.
self-titled.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much again. We truly appreciate your time.
Thank y'all.
And yeah, Barton Fitzpatrick, everybody.
Anytime, y'all. Thank y'all so much, man. I love the Black Script. Thank y'all so much. I've been waiting years to get on this motherfucker too. I just ain't tell y'all that. I was fanned out myself though. I ain't tell Jessica that though. But
Oh,
I
that's
was
what's up.
elated. I was
Yeah.
elated. So everybody know about the Black Script. You know. The
Wow.
creator follow y'all. Lena follow y'all.
Yes,
You know that.
she does.
Yeah.
She sent me
Oh
a
yeah.
post to share yesterday, and you know I'm trying to get her on the show. So if you can put a bug in her ear, man, please.
Done daughter. Done deal. I got you.
Yeah,
I got
thank
you.
you.
That's
Thank
easy.
you. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
All
I
right.
appreciate y'all.